Star Group, may I request you, sir, to kindly come to the dais and take your seat. Mr. Shafiqul Alam is an accomplished finance professional with over 14 years' experience in different industries and senior positions. In SSG, he has been working extensively in international business expansions projects and specifically responsible for corporate affairs, redesigning talent management processes, policies and industrial relations, as well as working closely with the group top-level management. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Our next panelist for this particular panel discussion is Mr. Omar F. Khandekar, Chief Information Technology Officer, Sonali Bank Limited. May I request you, sir, to kindly come onto the dais and take a seat. Mr. Khandekar is a Certified Information System Security Professional, Certified Information System Auditor, Certified Information Security Manager and Certified Project Management Professional. He was selected for the Empire Who's Who USA for Outstanding Professional Achievement and Strathmore's Who's Who Worldwide for recognition of leadership and professional accomplishment. A very warm welcome to you, sir. And our moderator for this particular session is Mr. A.K.M. Nazrul Haider, past President, ISACA, that is Information Systems Audit and Control Association. May I request you, sir, to take your seat on the dais. Mr. A.K.M. Nazrul Haider has over 40 years of work experience in building and leading successful IT projects in the area of aviation, manufacturing, education, research, healthcare and banking industry. He is a recognized leader in the area of developing plans for business systems automation through management of technology in diversified environment. Mr. Nazrul Haider is now engaged in consultancy and advisory services to banking and financial institutions. A very warm welcome to you, sir, and I hand over the session to you.
Thank you all. This session is security, which is one of the burning sessions for each and every IT issues nowadays. This is supposed to be almost 45 minutes to 50 minutes, but it has been reduced to 30 minutes right now. I have three government panelists with me. All of this they will talk about what is happening in their mind, or in their professions, and what is happening across the world. But prior to that, I just would like to say a few words. Yesterday's Bangladesh and tomorrow's Bangladesh will not be the same. Why? Because today we have lost the satellite. It does not mean just a satellite. It's a 30 terabits of information per second, which is coming and going across the country. And this will create a lot of opportunities for us, but it also brings us a lot of risk as well as security exposures. In these aspects, whether are we ready or what we should do as a country, as an individual, as an organization, that is one of our biggest challenges right now. Most of the time, we think about security as a technology problem, but technology is not. Security is not a technology problem. It is now more on people and management problem. So, managing security is most important, and creating people to handle those security is one of the vital part of nowadays. And to combat security, it is not a product, it is now a process. Our previous speaker has just mentioned that it has to be embedded in the existing system so that it should not be afterthought issues. So I have a couple of queries for my panelists, considering the specific areas of country, how much prepared we are right now, and what will be the challenges for us as far as individuals as well as organization and country should think about. First of all, my point of understanding, I want to know from the panelists that plenty of things are happening across the world. We are investing a lot of resources to make our life more comfortable through the digitalizations and others. This will create or bring a lot of risk as well as exposures. And how panel think about these things to combat as far as future activities are concerned. It is not only just organizational. Previous speaker has mentioned it is not only just a monetary thing siphoning from the bank. It is much more of human life is now at stake due to security issues. We have seen that future couple of years, maybe 4 to 5 years, there will be plenty of technology changes that are coming out. Out of that, IoT is one of them. Then industrial control systems, which Bangladesh has invested a lot of money, a lot of effort in industrial control system to make all the utility department digitalized. So how we are protecting those to make our life more comfortable. And as well as we are seeing that in the financial sector, a lot of activities are going on across the world, like one of them is blockchain. How blockchain can be managed to perform our financial services in the next few years. The first I would like to say about few things in calculating the security issues, Mr. Shamal Dash, in his organization, how he is addressing and what kind of challenges he thinks to be taken in the next few years. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. We thank the organizer for inviting us here. Also, just have a chat with this distinguished gentleman over here. Security has been actually a big talk in Bangladesh for quite some time already. Today's program actually I think it's all about digital. So we have been talking about security for quite some time based on our basic systems, legacy systems and all. Now we actually need to move. So how do we move actually? See, if you really see the system that we're using, those are mostly static system, or we call it very core systems. But nowadays people will talk a lot about these digital apps, mobile apps, IoTs, clouds. So what happened? Our company also, we also felt, see I work in a bank, so I also need to think all the time, how do I compete? How do I go in the market quickly? Because see nowadays, if you really look at things from the bank, we used to give the customers, we used to say, sir, take this is your solution. Why don't you use this is one solution. But nowadays you see what's happening is the customer's propensity which is driving the solutions. So customers actually driving and telling us, this is what I need, can you give me? So that is how things are moving. See quickly, see nowadays lots of, you see all this mobile app based banking is coming, or we call it digital banking. Like you must have seen DG Bank, it's called by DBS, a Singaporean bank, they have introduced it. So what's happening? Do you think it came just because banks said it? No, it's the customer demands it. So now question is, as you said, that how we are thinking in banks and how we are addressing the security and all. So based on the core system, basic systems, how we deliver to customer, we thought, okay, keep our system secure. But it's not going to be like that. We have to now say, how do we keep our system secure? Beside that, how we keep our customer secure. So we need to have our security system from reactive to agile and adaptive. That is one thing to see. Nowadays there are a lot of concepts also in terms of application development. We say agile development. Why agile development? Because, okay, before we used to give a solution to our tech team or development team. They used to say 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Now business comes and says, do you know my customer wants this? Can you do it in 5 days? So what do? We forget about all the waterfall, typical, in technology we call it waterfall model, one after another, one after another. We don't follow that. What we follow is agile method. We say all of you sit in a room, you have 5 days, finish it and come out. So you beat the target. Now going back to that, when we do that, do we forget the security process? Do we forget all the process? Of course not. Yes, we may not be following the process, but we again bring in agile and adaptive security models. That means what? The technology moves, we move. See, nowadays there is a lot of RPA, robotics process automation. There is a lot of AI, artificial intelligence. So what's happening? These are coming. That means what? It comes in the system. You get straight through processing. You get all these loans, which just you press. In many banks are doing it. Now online you just try to apply for a loan. Not in Bangladesh yet, I would say, but it's coming. Because we are, as I said, this program is on digital transformation. What is about digital? But you see, many banks abroad, they have now a loan system where you can go online, they assess you online, they do their scorecarding, they tell you, yes, you are eligible for the loan and your loan is disbursed into your account. So do you mean to say that we are going into those eras and we are really into security threat? No. Equally, the security also is moving. See, we have to forget that we are not anymore in the perimeter-based security. If we think of perimeter-based security, then you are in the, a long time, 20, 30 years back. Those things are going. Now we are moving from perimeter-based security to more into, you see, networks, more into cloud. Those are the things. Because we need to be agile. Also, one more thing you have to remember. When we talk about security, we think more into what's going to happen to my this system, what's going to happen to my that system. No. Nowadays, you see, in your, let's say your internet banking, what do? So you try to pay your son's university fee. Somebody tries to pay their internet fee. What's happening? Actually, you are having integration or API-based application. So the future is, if you see, the digital transformation will be purely API-based. So API-based means what? We need to concentrate on the security from, again, perimeter-based to data sharing kind of intelligence, where the data converges, where the links, you have to focus into the links. See, many people, we are doing a lot of digital transformation, lot of digital connectivity, but you know what tend to happen? People forget again the perimeter-based security. I am not saying that you forget the perimeter-based security. I am saying that is your basic, you keep that right, but don't forget the data link-based security also. So what's happening is vice versa. Those who think about the data link-based security, they forget the perimeter security. As a result, what happens? You give a beautiful application to the customer. The customer does it through his mobile app or iPad or something, but you know the threat flows through that and comes to your perimeter-based, your basic security. Your perimeter-based security doesn't work, your whole thing goes down. So you try to cover millions of customers, but you forget perimeter-based security. But what I'm trying to say, that the digital technology will extend your infrastructure to the cloud and furthermore. So please, instead of looking into only perimeter-based security, look into the more data link-based security. And also, beside that, you make sure your CERT, the Computer Emergency Response Team, is well versed with all kind of latest updates and latest knowledge. It's just basic having an IT team, security team, or a normal security will not help you. You have to have a specialized CERT team because they will keep tab with what's happening in the world, and that will keep you updated in terms of data link-based security, which will keep your perimeter-based security safe. At the same time, you know what's happening with your data link-based security in real time. And that's all actually we in the banks and we practice.
Thank you, Mr. Shamal. What Mr. Shamal has mentioned in the beginning, that his bank or his institution or organization is focusing on customer-centric security systems. This is one of the things which this session or this event is focusing. There is human-focused security systems is one of the priority area in these organizations. Now I would like to move from banking to non-banking part. Mr. Shafiqul Alam, what is his view regarding his organization and how he is thinking security in the next few years is to be addressed? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for arranging such a contemporary issue when digital become human. Basically, digitalization cannot be possible without the support of the human. To me, be a professional accountant, the chartered accountant, management accountant, if you consider the security risk, first of all, we need to address something. According to the accounting concept, we have some asset like movable and immovable asset, but we do not consider sometimes the human asset is the real asset. Then, second is the data or information. It is very, very crucial and vital nowadays. If you consider SSG is a lighting company, we are number one lighting company in Bangladesh, and we are the largest manufacturer of accessories, electric accessories producer in Bangladesh. So, you will happy to know that we have a 18 member of IT team. We have an internal audit team of 19 people. We have a HR team, it's about more than 15%. Why? Because to ensure the corporate governance, to ensure the security, to make your business scalable, you do not only focus on the sales and production, you must have to focus on the corporate governance as well. So, we are the first company who has a turnover below 1,000 crore BDT has implemented SAP in the year 2015, and we are the first company who have implemented within 6 months. So, what is behind this reason? Because if you consider your business automation, your business data is crucial, you must have to have a real-time data, and we implemented SAP for that. So it is done. No, this is not done, because as we saw, my Ernst Young fellow, because I am also qualified from the Ernst Young in Bangladesh. So he mentioned that 53 or more than 50% of the people, they do not think that security is an issue, and they have not capable people as well. So we are using SAP. We have implemented a process called Business Plan Tracker and SSD. What is it? Business Plan Tracker is a we have 17 departments. Each department have annual KPI, and according to the annual KPI, we have a monthly KPI, we have a daily KPI, and we have a dashboard like CFO dashboard, CEO dashboard, and we can have. So we do not use the manual diary for our daily meeting. So as I am there, so I have a online access, and I just get my MD, my board can see that I am in the program. So that sort of automation takes place in our organization in Bangladesh. So it is not rare in Bangladesh. Now we are digitalized. But having said that, this information is very, very vital, because few days back, one of the IT threat is called ransomware. We attacked by this year, and fortunately we have enough measure. Our SAP server is not affected. Only the mail servers, there are some problem. Then we thought, how can we reduce these things? So many measures can be taken place. First of all, the audit, IT audit, and all these things for the one password or one ID, many people cannot use. So having said that, most of the company, they procure the ERP like SAP, Oracle, they use multiple users, so it should be avoided. So being an accountant, the information of the organization, the sales, the turnover, the costing, everything is very, very crucial. In fact, we have a digital format of board meeting. We have meeting minutes, all these things kept in the cloud. So it is very crucial and vital for us to safeguard our data. So it is very important. We have a cautious. So I must address that. First of all, to ensure this digital environment. Digital environment has a very good side, but other side there are a lot of problems. If you are not aware enough, it could be a main problem for you if you miss the data. Because in previous days they have a alternative, because when we implemented SAP, we have a blackout period, because the legacy system we shut down in a fine morning, we started with the SAP. So we have no legacy data. So only source of information is SAP. If we cannot consider the enough security for SAP system, ERP system, if we miss any of data, then we will be in great problem. So being a corporate house, being a commercial house, we are very conscious, we are very focusing on the data security. We have enough, we take the, and another thing is the license version. Most of the local organization or many organizations, they are not using the license version of the software. So it is also very needed. So me, being an accountant, being a industrialist, we must have to focus on the data security, because data is the real asset, and it's a very one of the most important intellectual property nowadays. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shafiq. Mr. Shafiq has mentioned in his organization how he is treating security as well as safety of the data as a non-banking or non-financial institutions, considering his background and others. Now I would like to move to our expert panelist, Mr. Amar Khandokar, that there was a saying that expert hacker hacks system and infrastructure, and professional hackers hacks people. So what is his view regarding safety of the people as far as security is concerned?
Thank you, Rajul, and thank you Infocom actually for this arranging this session. Actually, our previous speakers and also the keynote speakers talk about this security, and we all know this is an issue. For me, and we also understand that the cyber security is not a technical issue, it should be actually business issues. And also we know these people, process and the technology. I like to touch this people side actually. Like you know that the cyber security is affecting today in our personal life, in our social life, in our family life, and at country level also. So that's the reason actually this is actually part of personal life. So to protect ourselves, from this cyber security event, what we feel like actually we need to actually follow some basic hygiene actually. Some basic hygiene like today morning actually when I come here, so some process is followed, right? We clean our teeth, we take a shower, and then we went to washroom and we dress and we come here, right? So every day actually we are following some basic hygiene. So similar thing actually, we need to follow this basic hygiene, whether we are using IoT, we are using cloud, or any systems, the basic hygiene and cyber security, there's some control that need to be followed first. And if we do that, and it become part of the way of life, then these hackers and the crackers, what we see, affecting us, actually, we can control them. Because sometimes we feel like the hackers are more intelligent than us. In reality, really are they more intelligent than us? I don't think so. What they're doing, they are finding the weak points of ours. So if they found the weak points, and then they try to get the access to the weak points. So in the security, actually, our security is as good as the weakest link. Meaning that actually, if we have the weakest link, so that weakest link security is our security. You may put a firewall, you may put latest technology and all these things, but the weakest link, if they can find out, they can bypass that. Like an example is, say, to get access to the room, we put a armed guard there, then fire-proven door, and everything is there. Nobody can get access, but we have a glass door, a glass window. So that is the actual security, whatever we do. So that's the reason actually we need to have these controls, the basic control we need to find out. Like everybody is using the technology today. So are you sharing my password? Is my systems are being patched properly? And what frequently is being patched? Then like when I'm going to the restaurant, am I handing over my credit card to the waiter? Because these are all, when I talk about the security, the technology, it's become part of that also. So if I hand over my credit card, and then if someone take the picture both sides, and then a transaction might happen in the e-commerce side. So you need to know that thing. So at any point of time, I should not hand over my card when I pay the bills. So these are the basic hygiene actually. As a person, as a user, I need to know that actually. So if I can educate myself, if I take care, my peace, then if that practice built in my way of life, then really you see that discipline will help me, and that discipline also will help the organization also. Because otherwise, there is a tendency that to go for the latest technology, and we feel like that, if someone will come and give me the silver bullet, and that will protect myself from all kind of security threats and attacks. That is not possible actually. So I need to educate myself. I need to understand what are the basic hygiene I need to follow, and that is a regular process. Like we follow the regular hygiene in our daily life. It's like say every month we cut our hair. So same thing, like in the systems every month we need to see is there any security patches released, even from my laptop. Same thing will reflect in the organizations. So there is some standards, there's some control processes. So we need to also adapt those best practices, like hardening the systems. So we feel like that some of the systems like Windows is more vulnerable than the Linux. But if we can also make this Windows systems sequelize as like as Linux, if we can harden the systems. So that's why there are some processes there. So this education need to be actually, we need to more focus on the education, like the skill set development in our organizations, in ourselves. Then if people are educated, then they can actually develop the process to control the technology. Because what is happening, like we are buying the technology, so because new things are coming, yes, we need to adopt those. But if you don't know actually how to use those technology, the investment I am going to make, I am not getting the benefit out of that investment. So that's the reason actually that we need to focus these people and process more than the technology actually. Because technology will come, it is a tool. We need to see the technology as a tool. So if we want to protect ourselves from all the hackers and all these crackers, these threats, So this basic as in my message is that we need to follow first. And then actually once we are educated, then we can see actually what technology we need for the organization. Well, I might not need the latest technology. I might, whatever technology I have, that might be sufficient to protect myself based on the criticality of my infrastructure. That's the thing we need to focus. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Omar. What Mr. Omar has mentioned in his speech, that security is not a single element, it's a chain. Out of this chain, there are various players playing in the role. And in this player role, human is the weakest link. If human can be developed, the security chain should be strengthened. That was his summary. Now I would like to shift slightly in a different angle from the previous panelists, that security costs money. How much money and how much cost? How will trade off these issues in an organization? Because there is no ROI, return on investment, on any security investment. Because we have not seen this, but it has happened. Example is when Bangladesh Bank case was happening in 2016, the following month, the Bangladesh imported 2 crore taka of firewall just in 1 month. It's because of afterthought investment. And on that particular year, almost 70 crore takas of firewall has been imported in the country. But this should be, invested prior to the security haste has happened. So we are investing money after the event has happened, but not to the prior. My focus point to discuss right now to my panelist, Mr. Shaman Dash, is how he is thinking about cost trade-off relating to security issues in the organization. Thank you.
Well, cost is a big thing, and everybody knows that. And actually, when you go to the management committee or to the board, that's a big issue. How you pass it through. We have a different. I think, and that's a very, very, usually it's a very common issue among the bankers and most of the big organizations in Bangladesh, and I would say throughout the world. But it's a bit more in Bangladesh because, as Sir mentioned also, that we are very reactive in nature rather than being proactive actually. Since Bangladesh thing happened, how much money has been spent on firewall. But his firewall is the answer. His firewall is the answer, or antivirus is the answer. Actually, that is where we need to draw a line. For that, what we usually do, I wouldn't say my organization, or I would rather say what I practiced throughout my 20 years of experience abroad and in Bangladesh. We always thought out to be a roadmap, which is what you will find out in 90% of the organization is absent. There is no roadmap. So if you really do not have a roadmap, you really do not know where you are going. And of course, we often look at IT like a silo and business is like a silo. We never see the integration between them. Nowadays it's happening. Because why? Because IT has become an integral part of business. So when you know that you're assured that your IT is an integral part of business, taken, is accepted by the management and the board, then it's not difficult actually to go into the expenses of technology or security. So I start with technology. See, we plan a lot of technology, we'll buy this server, we'll buy this network, we'll buy all sorts of things, but we tend to forget how do we protect that technology. So as a result, what happens? See, when you go to the board, you go to the management, you go with multiple times, multiple memos.